Hi guys, this is Tim with EventOffice and InflatableOffice, and I wanted to show you today about the time clock feature that we offer in in our workers module. So um, the workers module is really good for scheduling people, self-scheduling them, letting them self-schedule, and just getting information out there to your workforce. But we had people, ask us, oh, how can we make sure that they're actually um, arriving for their shift on time and so forth. We'd like a way to kind of keep track of it a little closer. So we built a little time clock function. And I do want to say that it is limited right now, but we have really big plans for that this year as we develop more of our workers module this year to kind of keep up with everything that's going on in the industry. So uh, our time clock right now, you can see we have a shift that this gentleman, Lazy Joe, is scheduled for today, and it's around 2 o'clock. So the way it works right now is they would go to time clock, and I just want to make this clear too that this entire website here, we're doing it on a computer, but most of your employees are going to do it on their phones, and it's very easy to use on your phone. It's built mobile responsive, so you don't have to worry about that. But you can see what it's going to do is it's smart, and it kind of tries to figure out what shift they're probably trying to clock in for. And so it's going to pick the shift that is close. If there were other shifts that were close, it would have put those in the list as well, but it would have chosen the one that it assumed that the worker was trying to clock in on. I want you to take notice too that we also have an unscheduled option here. So if you just want to keep track of people's work that they're doing for you, maybe at the warehouse, and it wasn't scheduled stuff, you can just have them clock in and out on these unscheduled shifts. So you don't actually have to go in and schedule somebody. You can just let them know, hey, I want you to work today, and I need you to get XYZ done. They can just clock in on the unscheduled shift. We do have them pick a position because the position it can determine how you're going to pay them their pay rate. So that's something that we do have them choose as well. And then we give the option for a note here. So, in this case, they would be doing it most likely for this North Life Ministries. When they clock in, it is going to require location access. So we are geolocating them. And the point of that is to later on set up geofences and stuff like that so that you can determine when they're allowed to clock in. Right now we're just logging it, and you can see that when you run a payroll report. You can click to see where they clocked in from. And some of that we realize because it's going through cell networks or Wi-Fi and stuff like that, sometimes the location isn't as accurate as we want it to be. So those are things that we're going to improve this year. So once you've clocked in, and obviously you can put another note here if you need to clock out, like you're finished with your shift, or if you're going to have them do breaks and clock in and out for breaks so that you can kind of keep track. And you could be doing paid breaks or unpaid breaks. It's up to you. This would help you keep track of it. We generally will display everything as an unpaid break. So if they're going to do a break, we're going to subtract it from the payroll report. So, they might say, usually on a start of a break, they wouldn't have anything to say, but when they're in a break, then they cannot clock out at that point. They actually have to end their break. So they might say something like, got back late, from Burger King or something, wherever they went to eat, and come up with some sort of excuse. Those notes are actually also put into the payroll report stuff so that you can see what they were doing and what they were saying, and you can make adjustments there on the payroll report. I know you're noticing that probably that my browser is prompting me to give location access each time. I'm in a private tab, and that's why it's doing that. It's not remembering my choice, but once your worker says to do it, it'll remember the choice, and they won't have to click that every time. So anyway, that's just kind of a quick overview on how our time clock feature works. Again, there's a payroll report that when you pull the payroll report, it also shows you all those time clocks in and out. It'll show you if somebody was excessively different than their shift that you defined. It'll highlight those so that you're aware of it. It will take the clocked times over the shift times. And so that's why we make you aware if it's very different from what you originally had planned for them to be doing, so that you can double check those things. And then we also let you make edits to those, based on maybe comments that the employee might have put in those reasons. So, and don't forget the unscheduled option. The unscheduled option is also a really good option, even for dealing with your employees that are in the office too. So, and again, we've had a lot of interest in this, and a lot of people have asked us to do upgrades to this, and it is stuff that we are planning to do in the near future. So this year we should, as we're getting into all the worker module and employee stuff with our new app that's coming out, we'll be getting into a lot of this. So if you have things that you guys want put into that, let us know, and we'll be happy to try to include those. All right, well, thanks very much, guys, for joining me. And as always, post your questions and comments below.